Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear. I just wanted to seek the blessings of Radha Madhava, Radha Shyamsundar, Krishna Varana, Bal Gopal, Gaunita, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the assembled devotees. So, wanted to just go through this Bhakti-Lata-Bija, the blossoming of the Bhakti-Lata. This is by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, one of the previous acharyas. And it's quite a very interesting analysis of how we can protect this seed of devotion which has been planted into us so that it fructifies ultimately into the fruit, the ripened fruit of prema bhakti, which is what we try to aim for through this devotional process. It's very interesting because it guides us how to basically protect this plant that's been sown so that it grows nicely through different stages. And we also may be able to assess where we are standing in terms of the bhakti path, although we are not perhaps good judges of ourselves, so we have to be a little bit mindful, but it'll give us an idea. So where does it start? It starts with faith. We have to have some degree of faith to begin this process of bhakti. If we have zero faith that there is a God, if we are completely convinced that there is no God, we are atheists and science rules the waves sort of thing, then it's very hard to get on this path of bhakti. So faith is very important. And we often see people who have zero faith, and really, no matter how much we try to explain, it won't go in, it won't register, it won't have any impact because there is no faith in that person. And what do we do in that situation where somebody we're close to, they've got no faith at all, but we care for them? What do we do? Explained by Prabhupada that best thing one can do is give them some prasad. If we give prasad, in due course of time, that prasad will have a few effects. One effect is it can reduce the barriers. It can, because prasad is so powerful, it's a spiritual potency of the Lord which enters the person. So if one gives prasad to others, especially if that prasad is cooked with great love and offered to the Lord with devotion, that prasad becomes very powerful. There's many pastimes of Srila Prabhupada where he's cooked something and the devotees have eaten it, and they felt great elation in their spiritual life. So this prasad, you can never underestimate how important it is. Also, it will protect that person from going into the animal kingdom in their next life. So eating prasad guarantees human life. So this is quite an important factor. So if we care for somebody and they have zero interest, it doesn't mean we don't like them. No, because at the end of the day, we're not supposed to dislike anybody. So we can help them by giving them prasad. But if somebody has some faith, and hopefully we have faith, then that is a very good starting point. That's where this faith is planted in the field of the heart, that there is a God, I am his servant, and I need to connect with him. So how do we connect with him? Okay. Sadhu Sangha, that's the beginning. So from Shraddha, where the faith has been planted, the seed of devotion, the Bhakti-Lata-Bija has been planted, then we have sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha is where we meet with devotees, we hear from devotees, we sing with devotees, we eat with devotees, we spend time with devotees. And that's one of the quickest ways of developing bhakti. In the beginning, when Prabhupada started the Hare Krishna movement, nobody really knew anything about devotional service. But by association with Srila Prabhupada, even though they did not necessarily understand him because his accent was a very thick Bengali, Bharatiya accent, and very hard to understand for those who are not used to it. But yet, simply his association brought about a huge amount of bhakti within the hearts of many devotees. So sadhu sangha. So from sadhu sangha, the next stage where one develops to is bhajana kriya. We actually begin to do some bhakti, devotion to the Lord. So what does bhakti do? It destroys all misery. There's 5 types of misery: ignorance, false ego, attachments, hatred, absorption in material objects. So this, we can tell if we are making progress in the path of bhakti. Our ignorance will be less. The false ego that I am the cause of everything around me will be less. Attachment, something, we lose something and we're not too worried about it. That's good. Hatred, I don't like this person, or I don't like this. I like this. I am really favorable with this. Mundane things. I want to avoid those things. And absorption in material, worldly objects. If we are fully absorbed in material objects, and we know we got a long way to go. And then there's 4 types of sins, which fructified sins, that's already we have the phal, already we are suffering the phal. There's unfructified sins, which we've committed, for which the karmic reaction hasn't yet come. And then there's the seed of sin. And this is where bhakti is very powerful, because bhakti destroys the sin at its root cause. And this was instruction given by Sukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. Because Sukadeva Goswami was questioned by Parikshit Maharaj, how can one avoid the hellish planets? Oh, one can do prayaschit. So then Parikshit Maharaj said, what's the point of doing prayaschit? Because the seed of sin is still there. So yes, you do prayaschit, then you do more sin. Then you do more prayaschit, then you do more sin. Then you do more prayaschit to counteract the sin. So then Sukadeva Goswami said, yes, you are spot on. And only thing that can get rid of the sin at the root heart, the heart of the matter, is bhakti. So bhakti is very powerful in that respect. The desire seed of sin, that's what it destroys. So, and then on the other side, bhakti bestows all auspiciousness, kindness, right? If one is a devotee, then one naturally feels compassion, mercy, forgiveness, truthfulness, simplicity, equality, patience, gravity, honoring others, not expecting respect, and all good fortune. So these are the effects of the path of bhakti. And, bhakti actually can change people's mood, attitude at its, at its most basic level. So very powerful, very powerful. So bhajana kriya. Now, there are few things, which is the initial enthusiasm. You know, when we start bhakti, there's a lot of enthusiasm at the beginning. So much, you know, Krishna gives a little taste, and then that taste is taken away. It's like Dhruv Maharaj.
Right.
He did some, yes, not even.
Prabhu's slide is not clear. It's very difficult to follow the little
Yeah,
small
I know.
print.
Even I'm struggling.
Okay.
I will put it on the WhatsApp. I'll send it to you by WhatsApp. That would
Okay, that would be fine.
be more
Thank you.
clearer. It'll be more clearer. See, the enthusiasm, like Dhruv Maharaj, he saw, no, Parikshit Maharaj, sorry, Parikshit Maharaj. When he was in the womb of his mother, Uttara, and the Brahmastra was released against him, Krishna came at that time to protect him, or Vishnu came to protect him. And Parikshit Maharaj had darshan of Vishnu. And for the rest of his life, he was seeking that same personality again. So, and he was examining. Whoever he'd meet, he'd examine them. That's what Parikshit means, examiner. So he would examine them. Are you the person I saw in my mother's womb? So that initial enthusiasm is very powerful. So we often find in the beginning we had huge boost in our devotional practice. Very powerful. Yes, Naniman.
Parikshit Maharaj, he never saw Vishnu or Krishna again, except at the maybe at
Yeah,
climax.
that's right. That's right. But then, of course, at the end, you know, he would have had darshan. And through Sukadev Goswami, of course, he saw Bhagavatam. So he would have, he's become realized soul. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. But that's right. Actually, many devotees like that. Oh, Madhuban, very good. Um, Many devotees, like even Dhruv, he had a very small version, darshan of Vishnu. And he said, oh, when he saw Vishnu, and Vishnu said to him, ask for something. And he said, oh, I came looking for broken glass and I got diamonds. I got you. But then Vishnu disappeared, you know. And then for long periods of time, he was searching for Vishnu, you know, within his heart and with the outside as well. Many devotees, even Narad Muni had the same. Initially, he got a huge boost by the Lord, gave him darshan, but then the Lord disappeared um, and didn't give him darshan for a long time. So this is quite common, just to enhance people's, you know, like to get into bhakti. The Lord will give them a boost initially. And thick and thick practice, thick and thin practice. So whether things are going for us or against us, we never stop the bhakti. That's a good sign. Sometimes the health goes, sometimes mentally we're not quite, you know, ready, or we're disturbed, but we don't let it disturb our bhakti. Oscillating resolve. So I, you know, no matter what, we will resolve to do bhakti. But there on the other side, which can hold us back, struggling with sense enjoyment, inability to uphold vows, enjoying the mundane benefits of bhakti. See, bhakti gives a lot of benefits. It can give prestige, it can give also wealth. So sometimes these are the byproducts of bhakti, and we have to try to not get swayed by honor, other things like that. So bhajana kriya, we can be enthusiastic, we can try to do bhakti non-stop, no matter what, we will try to do bhakti. and not get disturbed by sense enjoyment. You have to be careful. Okay. From Bhajana Kriya, the next step after, so we have Shraddha, then we had Sadhu Sang. From Sadhu Sang, we go to the temple, we do seva. And then the next step is Anartha Nivriti. Anartha Nivriti. What happens is when we do bhakti, sometimes the ego holds us back. Or sometimes in our heart, some things come to us and it stops us from making more progress. And that's when this Anartha Nivriti, we have to start to clear these obstacles. What are these obstacles? They're born of past sinful acts, ignorance, false ego, attachment, hatred, absorption in material, worldly objects. So this, when we are hindered by past sins, that is anartha nivriti. We need to try to remove those. How do we remove that? By chanting more, by reading more about spiritual life. That's the only way to do it. By associating more with the devotees. Obstacles born of past pious acts. So, because we've been pious in the past, we get some benefits. We're very well-to-do. Perhaps we have heavenly qualities, godly qualities. That sometimes can become an obstacle because we can become proud or comfortable. We can be in a comfortable zone. We don't want to move to the next level. We have to be careful there. There's also Bhakti Uta, which is obstacles born of imperfectly performed bhakti. This is where we do bhakti, but there is a little bit of a business going on. My dear Lord, I'll do my seva to you, but you give me this. So this is like a business transaction. You've got to be careful there. And bhakti can also lead to adoration. People can, he's such a nice devotee, and they fall at your feet and this and that. And we become a little bit attached to that adoration. That's dangerous, very dangerous. Or there's obstacles born of past offenses. So anartha nivriti is where we clear these obstacles of offending the holy name. There's many offenses when we're chanting, there can be many offenses that we can be incurring. At this stage of anartha nivriti, we want to remove those offensive behavior. So basically there's 10 offenses to the chanting of the holy names. One is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives to propagating the holy name. We should be very, very careful when we're talking about devotees, especially if they've given up their whole life to become devotees. Second, is to consider the demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva to be equal to or independent of Lord Vishnu. Third is to disobey the orders of the spiritual master and also to consider him ordinary person. Fourth is to blaspheme the Vedic literatures or any literatures in pursuance of the Vedic version. 5 is to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. Because the holy name has a lot of great qualities. And if we think they are imagination, and then we have a problem. 6 is we give some interpretation to the holy name. This is what the holy name means. No, holy name is Krishna. It's simple as that. It's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when you say Krishna, he's physically present. Is spiritually present. Is there with us. 7, committing sins on the strength of the holy name. That's a I will have this drink and then I'll chant Hare Krishna. I'll be fine. No good. 8th is to consider Hare Krishna one of the ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas, known as karma kanda. So we shouldn't understand chanting holy names is not a ritualistic activity. It is actually pure bhakti. 9 is to instruct a faithless person about the holy name. So we know somebody is faithless, but we're still talking to them, chant Hare Krishna, but they become more and more antagonistic towards God. That is not good. And 10th is not have complete faith in chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments, even while understanding so many instructions on the matter. So many things we have to be careful of when we're chanting the holy names. Okay, so any questions, any comments? So this is a wonderful tree, how to make slow progress, steady progress in bhakti without losing our way, So anybody, any questions, any comments?
Prabhuji,
Yes, anybody.
when we are doing bhakti, what are the parameters of success? But not I don't mean success, material, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
parameters of where we are and where we have progressed so far, just for our own sake, spiritual development.
Very good. Very, very good point. Excellent point. There's a number of measures or barometers that we can judge ourselves. It's a little hard to judge ourselves because, we can either be very hard on ourselves or very soft on ourselves. Usually there's no middle ground, but the barometers are humility, that, we judge others less. Yeah, when we see others, we sometimes, we compare ourselves with them. I'm better than this person. When that reduces, oh, I'm not better, even though they may not be chanting Hare Krishna, they're still better than I am. That's humility. Humility is very good, very important measure. When we think, oh yeah, I'm better than this person because I'm chanting, I'm reading, I'm doing this, that's not a good sign. That's a sign that there's a lot of anartha nivritti which still needs to be cleared out. Another sign is when you leave your home and you don't have your beads with you, and you think, well, something's missing in my I need something. That's a good sign. Because you can't leave home without the beads. You can't leave home because you can't, like, you're going to need your beads, and without them you're lost. So sometimes I run out of the door, and I haven't got my beads with me, and then I know it. Oh no, I wish I'd kept a spare set in the car, or the whole trip is very difficult to. You're just thinking about the holy name, chanting, and where's the beads, so that's a good sign when you're attached to the chanting. Basically, you're attached to the chanting. If you don't chant in the morning, something is wrong in the whole day. If you feel that way, that's a very, very good sign of progress. Other things are like, if we lose something, and in this world, we are going to lose every single thing that we possess. That's guaranteed. And if we lose something, but we become very upset by that loss, to the extent that, we become morose and depressed, That's not a good sign. So if we lose something, but okay, this is the Lord's plan, and at the end of the day, it's good for me because He will only do something which is good for me. That's a good sign. Do you have any in mind, Naniban?
No, I was just thinking about this. Not to, I mean, one of the things that I thought was not to get too much emotionally angry, much happiness or distress, or just
Correct.
to see things in a gray scale rather than black and white.
Excellent.
One,
Excellent.
two, three, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Steady in happiness and
Steady.
loss,
Sthita
loss or
prajna.
gain, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Sit pragai. Very good. That's a really good one.
And following that, now sometimes we land up in sort of argument, somebody accusing us that you told this, you are lying. Can we say that as a Krishna Bhakt or as a Vishnu, I would never do that? Can we say that? It's not my characteristic, or then that is a bit of a boasting yourself.
It is. Yeah. That's a risk. That's a tough one. The others who you're arguing with probably will think that, okay, he's a bhakta. He will not cheat us. Yes, but we can't say, look, I'm a devotee, and you take my word for it. That's a hard one. That's a hard.
The family is very, very difficult to, in arguments, very difficult to prove that what I have done is not, is out of my Vaishnav character. It's very difficult to prove to the others in the family, and still you are get accused that you are like this and you are like. So it's a bit tricky.
Yeah, in this material world, the thing is, if you do, you're damned. If you don't do, you're damned. Either way, you're gonna lose. Generally, that's because envy, people envy you and they want to bring you down. And that's fine, because at the end of the day, we are due that. That's coming because of our past, actions. It's
Yeah.
coming. There's a saying, isn't there? No good deed gets unpunished. You do a good deed, you're going to get punished. That's karma, sometimes I feel that, I feel, we want to do so much, but there's so many obstacles, and you think, you know what? I'm not going to give up. Krishna, you want to put those obstacles, what to do, you keep putting the obstacles if you want to, but I'm not going to give up, because that's what we've been taught. Guru Maharaj has always said to us, never give up. Prahlad Maharaj teaches us, never give up, so we never give up. But it
Thank
is,
you.
sorry?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah. For the, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Prabhaben?
Hare, oh yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It's the same thing I will ask. When you, sorry, when we say we are better than them, that means
That's
that is our ego. Is that right?
ego. That's ego.
That's ego, which we don't want to do it.
No.
Is that right? We try not to do it, but sometimes the way the other Mataji said, when you end up doing argument, that's where you say, okay, you are right, we are wrong.
Yeah. I think humility is always good. Usually it resolves any arguments as well. So life is a little bit more peaceful.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that we are weak. Okay. There's a difference between weakness and humility. Weakness means, I am a fool, I am useless, I am rubbish. That's just being morose. That's not good, because we're not morose, we're strong. But we understand that, sometimes we will accept, like a situation where perhaps, I might be right, I might be wrong. It doesn't really matter, for the sake of peace, let's go with the flow. We're not going to argue.
And sometimes people let you down too much also. Where also I get a bit distressed, but I
Yeah.
just give up. I say, let them think what they want to think. Another question was when you say
on
for
that, Robin, on that point, when we have expectations of others, we will always be disappointed, Pravin. Nobody will meet our expectations, right? So what the devotee does, and I don't do this, but what the devotee does is he simply gives. He doesn't expect anything from anyone. No expectations. Very hard to live like this, but no expectations. The devotee, he will always be in the position of giving. He gives his love, he gives his attention, he gives his gratitude, he gives his respect, but he doesn't expect anything back in return. That is a happy devotee.
That's what I do. That's really I do. Whatever you say, that's what I do. I said I will try my best. In Gujarati we say forage.
Gee.
I don't know how to text English, mom. I don't know what to
Courage is
tell.
duty. I will do my duty.
Yeah, that's it. If they accept me, if they don't accept me. And second question was, okay, Hare Krishna. Sorry, are we finishing the time?
No, you can say it. Yeah, go ahead.
The second question was, you said we do business when we go when we ask God, you do this, I do for you.
Yeah.
So what about the prayers? When we're doing prayers, is that business? Like the way I'm asking is like somebody not well in the family and we just pray, God, please make him well. Is
that's
that
good.
business?
No, that's good, because when you pray for others, that's very important. To pray for others is very, very important. Normally, we usually pray for ourselves. That's a business.
Right.
I have a business with Nashingadev. I want him to keep me healthy so I can serve Radha Krishna. That's acceptable.
All right. I think Madhuben wants to add something.
Sure.
All right. Hare Krishna. We'll chat tomorrow more again. Hare Krishna.
Madhuben, did you want?
Yes, just I want to say, I say in Gujarati, is okay? Yeah. Whatever Prabhaben's first question, and the other Mataji was discussing about somebody hurt you or somebody says something, but I had an experience in my life that some people always like that, because I think their nature is jealous.
Yeah.
And that time if you argue with them, you never win. Never win to them. That's it. So there is, I think, once you give up or don't argue with them, then this thing make you more strong. Because of his practice. So now I got practice that, and I know that Prabhaben always saying me this, and other lady always saying me this, because of they haven't got enough knowledge to understand my thing. The standard is different.
But
So
you have to be careful. Haji, I know what you're saying. But you have to be also careful, Madhuben.
That's what I'm coming on that point. That time we have to be careful that this thing is not affecting in our mind, our strongness, or our whatever in our family. If it's family problem, then you have to be more careful, because sometimes they make you so much down, and sometimes they destroy your family relation as well. And your mind goes, oh no, what they try to how they try to treat me, and how can I, once you give up, they all the time doing same thing.
Yeah.
Because they know she never say anything.
Yeah.
But you have to sit down with them, and morally, say politely, I know, because standard is different, so you never win. First I said, but તમે એની સાથે બેસી બહુ કામલી એને વાત કરો કે હું આ બધું જાણું છું, પણ હું આર્ગ્યુ નથી કરતી.
That's good.
એટલે એને એકવાર ખબર પડી જાય, that person must know that she knows everything, but if you don't say anything and accept all the time or whatever they said, oh, carry on, I'm listening, that's not a good idea. Krishna even says, Arjun, no, you have to fight.
I know what you're saying, because sometimes that will be seen as weakness. But if you can say to that person, look, actually, I know what's happening, and but I'm still not going to argue. That's a sign of great strength. Yeah.
એક એક્ઝામ્પલ હું આપું. અહીંયા હું મંદિરમાં જ્યારે કંઈક કામ કરું, જ્યારથી મેં whenever I started to work in મંદિર, I decided, because of so many people are there, and they're all having different idea, different mind and different thinking, and some people I notice every time they try to find out our fault, what we doing wrong, or all the time they try to say, oh, Madhuben, you are the leader, you doing this one, and why you did this thing in front of so many people, and they try to be great himself, said, I know what we have to do and what you doing. They always try to insult me. Yeah, some, not everyone, few people like that. So what I decided, whenever I go to temple, anybody says anything, just keep quiet. And I always tell one or two person I know, I always tell them, sorry, I made a mistake. I knew that I didn't make a mistake, but my experience, they never ever improve themselves. So only one thing, to stand there, you just say, okay, પગે લાગીને હું કહું કે ઓહ સોરી, ઓકે, મારી ભૂલ થઈ, તમારી માફી માગી લો હવે.
The thing is, Madhuben, you're right. Thing is, when you see Bhakti-Siddhanta Pilana Guru, Prabhupada Guru, he used to say, that person who is my enemy is actually my friend.
Yeah, this make you very clever.
Well, clever. But somebody who points out your faults actually is a friend, because the person who is you think is your friend, they will continue for you to go down the wrong path. But the person who will say to you, actually, you're doing this, but perhaps you should think about doing this. If they do it in a nice way, that person...
That's the different thing. That's the different thing. They are good wisher. They are...
well-wisher, yeah. Well,
well-wisher with... Yeah. But some people, you can tell, not me only, around there's so many people standing there, they all notice that this is not right thing. But I learn one thing since I going there. I learn one thing, how to control my
anger.
That's it. But that's it. And I said to God, anyway, one good જેને આપણે કહીએ character, this I learned from since I going to mandir.
I know, but you have to be careful. Just have to be very, very careful.
I know. And that's why main answer is that I think whatever situation, where are you, and most of people, they believe that we are right, but not all the time we are not right. All the time we sometimes wrong as well. Then we have to accept these things. No, you are right, but doesn't mean કે તમારું ઇન્સર્ટ જ કર્યા કરે. એવી રીતે નહીં જીવવાનું.
That's correct. Yeah.
Mm.
That's weakness. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah. So I was listening to some class, can't remember who by, and they were talking about like gossip and people speaking ill will of you. So like this Mataji went up to the person who started all the rumors of, about her. So she went straight up to the that other lady and said, thank you, you pointing out these things to everyone else about me. That's not going to achieve anything. So why don't you just tell me what the problem is, what you're finding wrong, and then I can correct it. Instead of just letting others just talk about you and you hearing like third hand as well. So I found that quite interesting. How to approach that. You find people are talking about you behind your back, and you try and address it to the person who you think it has started this the issues, and you just say to them, why don't you tell me personally what you're finding wrong with me, and then I can correct it. If you're talking to everyone else, how can I correct that the problem that you have with me?
That's good.
In that case, Mataji, you need to have 100, you should be 100% convinced that that is the person, is the only person who's spreading the.
Yeah, true. But if you know that one person, at least you can
100%.
approach that person, and maybe that person will tell the others. I don't know, but I found that quite a good thing, thing to learn.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bhavan. Thank you, Nanman. Thank you, Shanti. Okay, we could stop there. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Bhakti-Lata-Bija ki jai. Devotional service ki jai.